This podcast includes explicit language and sensitive topics that some may find offensive.
All views expressed belong to the individual speaking and not a representation of any entity that we have been, am now, or will be affiliated with. It's your chance to back out now.
That being said, if not,
enjoy the show.
Previously on The Black Man Misunderstood.
What God then brought you through? And I said, ooh, hey, bro. I was like, hold on, bro. Like, hold on, bro. I came to get my car worked on, bro.
Black man, misunderstood.
It's your boy Mike B.
In the neighborhood therapist. Welcome back to the Black Man Misunderstood. I am your host, the neighborhood therapist. Here we discuss topics about Black men that others are afraid to speak on. As always, I am with my brother, Mike B.
Yeah.
And this is episode 11. And this is a special episode because brother Mike, Pastor Mike, Deacon Mike over here, for 3 seasons, he been letting it known that he's a Christian. And it's time. It's time. Once again, it's that time again. So I just got the question, is Christianity outdated? So let's get straight into it. Get straight into it, Mike. What's up with it?
Man, Christianity. I don't think we need to delve into the history as much on this episode. I think we're pretty much good. We've covered our bases in past seasons. And people don't know what Christianity and how it began and everything at this point. They living on the rock. We all know this. The internet has everything.
But what's your definition of Christianity?
In 2022, I look at Christianity as a way of life. I don't look at it as much as a religion. I guess I look at it as it's a guide for how you're supposed to live your life, not the end all be all how people make it.
I ain't mad at that.
Come on now.
So the guide was created by
And upstairs, 2 people.
I don't know what that means.
The Most High, God, G-O-D, capital G-O-D, through his prophets throughout history.
Okay, the most memorable prophet in Christianity is supposed to be who?
You about to get my car revoked. Like, let me stop.
I just want to be clear.
No. I'm trying to make sure it's I know it's between Moses and David, but I'm pretty sure it's Moses, if I remember correctly.
Okay, so then who is Jesus?
He's the first coming, Son of God.
So does that? And I'm not trying to be a smartass. I'm really trying to understand something. Does that make him a prophet, or does that make him do we not consider him a prophet because he is supposed to be like the main go-to, or how does that work in Christianity?
In Christianity, we wouldn't call him a prophet. We look at him as the Son of the Most High, basically given to Mary from the man upstairs through an angel, if I remember the story correctly. Because Mary is a virgin when he was born. So it was half man, half God on earth, basically. That's how I look at it. He's God on earth, not a prophet, but God on earth.
And that is the only, because in Greek mythology, he would be considered a demigod, correct?
Basically.
Greek mythology. Just Greek mythology.
Greek mythology, yeah.
Okay. All right. So why are we still calling this man Jesus? If in 2022 we understand that that is not his name.
I guess what happened is, we've said this before in the previous episode.
Mm-hmm.
It's the translation of his name. In my eyes, with the way languages has changed over time, the rulers of the nation. All right, we need to understand it. So this is the name. Because he has many names that he goes by. The original Hebrew names. And there's plenty other names that there's a long list for like different for God himself, and then of course for Jesus also. So I'm not going through all that.
All right. So before I go into my little rant, right?
Yeah, come on, man. Go ahead.
This is what I'm gonna say. Based off of my interpretation, my fact checking, my information. Okay, Christianity is based off of Jewish beliefs from the Hebrew Bible. You can stop me when I'm wrong. Okay.
Keep going.
Okay. His original name was Yeshua, which translates in 2022 as Joshua. Please don't let me lose nobody. Okay. Yeshua, which is in 2022, which is Joshua. Hamashiach, which means anointed one. So that is not his last name. I don't even know if people had last names back then. Okay. So it's just Yeshua, right? And then you got Jesus now. So what I wanted to do, I was trying to figure out like, how do we get that stark difference, right? And the only thing I was able to find was Jesus is Latin for Yeshua. And what they did was they went from Hebrew, Greek, Latin to early Middle English. Early Middle English is where you get Jesus from. And then in Latin, it's Lishus, like Lesus. And then before that, they got something in Greek. And then right before that in Hebrew, you got Yeshua. So that's going to take me to my low rant. It ain't going to be long, I promise.
No, go ahead, bro. You good.
In the good book. Okay.
That's how you going to start.
That's how I'm starting, okay? And I'm going to preface this like I always preface this in every season. I am not the most renowned scholar. I don't know how to quote Bible verses. So this is clearly me. I wrote this down. This is how I remember it, okay? I don't want people to think I'm faking the funk. Like, I'm not that person, all right? Anyway, what is it called? Deuteronomy? Is that how you say it?
Deuteronomy.
There you go. See, I let you know.
It's all good.
The D word in the Bible, that book. That book right there, okay? 4:2, all right? It clearly states, do not change any information in the Bible. If you don't believe me, here's a direct quote from it. Do not add to or subtract from these commands I am giving you. Just obey the commands of the Lord your God that I'm giving you. Fact or fiction, Mike?
Definitely fact, but also I would like to know the verses before and after that.
I mean, you gotta do your Google.
Of course.
You want me to do it right now? I can do it right now while you take over.
Yeah, no. The reason why I say this is because like when people take certain scriptures out, they misconstrue the information before it's a true understanding. If you only read the line for what it says and not take the context of what was said before and said after, and plus also keep in mind the times back then, how things were run, until you truly get the true understanding of what was meant to be said. Because people try to take these said scriptures, bring them forward, and be like, it's this. But they forget all that other context that makes it true.
Mm-hmm. No, that's you straight facts. But it don't matter if we in BC, AC, DC, FC, GFC, okay, 2022. These are facts, okay? Because I'm gonna give you 1, 2, and 3.
Okay. No. That's why I just want to hear it and make sure. Yeah,
I got you. And now, Israel, listen carefully to these decrees and regulations that I am about to teach you. Obey them so that you may live, so you may enter and occupy the land that the Lord, the God of your ancestors, is giving you. That's 1. 2,
Okay.
do not add to or subtract from these commands I am giving you. Just obey the commands of the Lord, your God, that I'm giving you. 2. So 3, you saw for yourself what the Lord did to you at Baal Peor. There the Lord, I'm not even sure that's how you say it, but there the Lord, your God, destroyed everyone who had worshipped the Baal, the God of Peor. But all of you who were faithful to the Lord, your God, are still alive today. Every one of you. What did you take from that?
So no, it's basically no. You're right then, because basically he's saying follow my guide, follow my word, and don't try to change it. So you're right. You're right in that statement. And that's what I'm saying. Like people have to read the context to make sure. Not even read the context. Read before and after, because people just like to pick out verses and only read part of it and don't read the whole thing, and then don't go read where it's connected somewhere else later on in the Bible.
Facts. So now my follow-up question to all of that, because again, I ain't want to go too deep. Who thought it was a good idea because, we are of a different culture and we may not be able to say his name properly, we're going to change his name. That is the equivalent to my name being Justice. And because you can't say it or you don't want to say it or it doesn't roll nicely off your tongue because you're Latin, you say, no, your name's Justicia. The same thing. It is technically the same thing, but I have gone my whole life being called Justice, and you just popped up because you're the ruling government, politics. Do you want to go on with this?
No, I already know where you're going with it.
Because this was an English-speaking country, and you came in as the conquistadors, and now you took over in 2023. I'm not predicting anything. I'm just using an example. Okay. I'm just using an example for y'all. Okay. 2023 is taking over. And now the main language of Americas, the corporation, the country is now changed to Spanish. And now everybody's name has to translate to Spanish. But my whole life, I have been called Justice, the wise, Justice, the wicked. Whichever one you want me to be, but I've been both. Now you're calling me Justicia, the conquistador. I never been that.
I get you.
You see what I'm saying? So
I see what you're saying, but it's no but. I see what you're saying. Definitely stop changing the name. I definitely get what you're saying. No, I definitely see what you're saying there. Like, stop changing the name, and that's factual. So it's the even. Most people don't even think about stuff like this. Like this is only one point,
right?
That they changed. People forget that they tried to change the Bible or use the Bible to keep slaves. All
right. Well, I do. Ooh, you're gonna get my black card revoked. Oh, all right. All right.
Oh, I already know where you're going with that. Look. Yes, I hear you. You don't even. You already said it last season. You good?
There was a curse we had to play out. That's all I'm saying. Just,
Yeah.
That's all. That's all. But
but seriously, like. It's in the Bible, there's scriptures about slavery, and they say they have to obey their master and this and that. And I'm like, y'all can't be using this.
that was Old Testament, wasn't it?
I believe it's in the Old Testament.
But even part, it was.
But even still, bro, if you actually, it's like reading the context of that scripture. There's like, I forget how it breaks down, but it was a lot more pieces to it, except for that part. You get what I'm saying?
No, for sure, yeah.
It's just like the whole submit thing, right?
Yeah.
That women get aggravated on. Like, people take the part that they want, like, oh, women must submit to their man, but they completely always try to forget the first part, that the man has to submit to God first before the woman submits to him. And that changes the whole context of the whole relationship and the whole actual meaning behind it when people just read a part of it. So we hitting these points about, is Christianity outdated? All right. And we're just talking about Christianity as a whole. And we're giving examples about different scriptures at this point. But I think we need to move a little more into like the structure of everything, right? Because people miss this part of it sometimes. And then when people feel, oh, woe is me, or oh, the church is against me, the church don't understand why. And I think this part needs to be said, because then it shows how hypocritical some of the churches are. Clifford Dollar and all them preachers. And people who just spew words of hate or prosperity and not giving any substance to it for people to understand. All these rules and regulations that these churches tell people before they enter the doors, or how to conduct themselves inside the church service. Some of them are bullcrap. We know this, right? Like some make sense, but then a lot of them bullcrap. Like, and then the whole thing about it is like, when I look at different things and how they treat certain people, how they treat the female in the church versus the guy. And this is where we break up into the different denominations and what people think is okay and what people other think is not okay. It starts to make Christianity look wacky. Because Christianity as a whole, it should be a way of life, not these rules and regulations that we gotta follow by, and churches gotta pay into to make sure the machine keeps going.
I like the way you're addressing that. Keep it going. I like that. I like that a lot. Like,
I'm gonna just drop this real quick. Like, if people haven't seen the Clark Sisters movie, I'm trying to remember if it was on Lifetime or not. I'm gonna just drop a denomination out there, guys. Church of God. Just gonna drop it out there. It was a whole panel of men telling a group of women who's singing for the Lord, what they can and cannot do for an award that they won for them singing. They're reaping the benefits of their gift. Another part of it, from me just looking at that instance, is like, these women, you can see that they love the Lord. Like, they fall short in different parts, and whatnot. And then it's even funny to me how people don't even like pick up on certain things, like, because like, remember, it was a whole big thing. You can't bring that hip hop beat or R&B beat into the church and make music. One of their best songs of all time got ripped off from a Stevie Wonder song. Like we making rules up for no reason now. Like these songs and the storytelling didn't come out of this way, and this is how we talk about life. Like I understand the cursing and stuff. No, I try not to curse as much as I used to back in the day. I know you don't care, and people have to get me in the mode.
People, because at that point you're basically telling me one sin is bigger than the other sin, and then is that really a sin? So it's up for grabs. It's up for grabs.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. There's no big sin, no little sin, but I would say there are sins that are specifically pointed out.
Oh, fact.
Right? Like, I don't think it's that it's worse or anything, But it's just that he points them out because there are examples in the Bible all over the place. And there may be a method to the man's madness about why he points these things out. Let me just add another point. So with all that hoopla and the machine pushing their rules and regulations out on the people, and people starting to get fed up, now people are starting not to care. Now morals go out the window. Now any and everything is allowed. And now we have what the world is right now, and constantly getting worse each day.
Okay. But on the flip side, if the holy books, I'm talking about Holy Bible, Quran, all of them, right? If they were written by people that were ordained and anointed to write these things, and then they were later translated by peons who happened to be in power because they killed their way to the top or conned their way to the top and went, hey, I need you to rewrite this, and I need you to leave that part of the book of Enoch out. Now I'm going to start getting in. What's up? Now we here. I'm going to leave the book of Enoch out. I'm going to leave this book out. Leave that part right there. It's juicy. As a matter of fact, magnify that part. Oh, and then when Yeshua Mashiach, matter of fact, change his name. We're going to call him Jesus of Nazareth. And then anytime he talks, put it in red. Put that on blood. Mike, hear me out, bro.
Yo, you dumb for that. You dumb for that. But I hear you. I hear you. I hear you.
Hear me out. So you're gonna blame a people for getting to a point in 2022 where now they're reading this thing and they understand that most of it is what it's meant for. It's a good thing, but it's been so perverted. Which is why I brought that up, that you wasn't supposed to touch that Bible. You wasn't supposed to touch any of the commandments, right? It's been so perverted. It's like, who can you trust? You can't even, hear me out. You said there was no sin bigger than the other sin. I got to disagree. There is one sin that's supposed to be the most highest of high, and it's blasphemy. It's blasphemy. It's when you blaspheme the name, okay? So I'm going to switch gears because I really do feel like in 2022, I understand where these people are coming from, where it's like, yo, wild out. What? There's no law out here. There's nothing. What do you believe in? Like Tupac said. What, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm just saying that it's been so perverted that what your grandparents were told, your great grandparents and beyond, the only thing you can do is go into spirituality. We'll get into that in a second. But my question to you, Mike, is do you stand on if you don't welcome Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, you're going to hell? Because that goes into the whole blasphemy thing.
Okay. True. It's like that's what I believe in, because that's what I grew up on. All right. Believing in Jesus Christ and that he is the Son of God and all this good. That's what I believe.
But that's valid. But if you don't believe that, are you automatically going to hell? Because that's what it says. If you don't, when the time comes, everybody gonna have to bow, right? And then if you call upon him, because now it's like it's an awakening, right? And he'd be like, flee from me, I don't know you. You know what I mean? Or my father don't know you. Then you're supposed to be banished. And it would be, the gnashing of the teeth and all of that. So do you believe that? That's a real question. Because you identify as Christian.
Yeah. That part of it, when you put it that way, yeah, I do. But here's my thing about this. It goes back to what I was saying with the machine, and it pushes people away. Right? Like people can say they believe in God, believe in Jesus Christ, right? Or they don't outright say it, but their actions show it.
I hear you. Keep rocking.
Because going back to the book, but this is one of the few scriptures I don't think they mess with. I forget where it's at, but basically, you know what I'm saying. It's judge me by my work. I'm paraphrasing. And not by what I say. And in the Bible, it also says the tongue is probably one of the
mightier than the sword. Yeah, facts. That's another reason people don't like it. It jumps back. It jumps back and forth because it can come off as contradictory. But that's why you got to tap in. But keep going. Keep going.
So it's like, huh? Like I'm doing this wrong. But here's the flip side, and this is an understanding that I started to get to now, is that with the context and all that stuff, there's still grace, right? If you come back underneath the proper way, right? Like, we know adultery is a sin. Any form of sex, point blank, period, sin.
Is that
outside of marriage?
So I want to be clear. Adultery to you is if you're not married and you're having sex, that's adultery. It's not my definition, which is you're married and you had sex out of your marriage. Adultery to you is the universal, hey, you're not married, you don't need to be having sex.
Let me make sure. Let me make sure. I'm
talking about your definition.
No, I know my definition, but I'm trying to make sure I'm saying it right. I ain't trying to give the people wrong stuff.
Nah, because I feel like everybody got their own definition of that. And of course, because they paint their own definition.
Yeah. But I'd rather double check on that.
You're double checking Merriam-Webster, which were white folks that were in power at a time of old English. I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying, bro. And other than that, you're going off of Wikipedia. Come on, bro. Like,
no, it is between a married person. All right, I was confusing that whole thing. All right, you're good. No, you're right.
So what is Merriam-Webster saying?
No, it's not even Merriam-Webster. I was just making sure that's how I remember it. But no, definitely, adultery is definitely sex, married person, and someone out of marriage. Boom. That's definitely what that is.
So you're saying that regardless. So all right, if you've never been married and you're having sex, that's adultery.
No, that's not what I said.
Okay.
No. Okay. I'm saying adultery and sex out of wedlock and all this good stuff. Not adultery though. Let me take the adultery off. And sex out of wedlock,
right?
Masturbating, all this other stuff. That takes you out of grace. But at the same, people only condemn people that do it, right? But people forget that the part of God is that His grace is abundant. His love is unconditional. So He allows us to make the mistake and come back. And I believe that's the piece that we forget to speak on in a lot of the different denominations. We talk so much about the rules and if you're perfect in Christ, like this is what you follow, bang, 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 bang. But we don't talk about when you mess up, what you need to do to bring yourself back or put yourself back in His grace.
Okay. So using my therapist's ears, I'm going to repeat back to you what I heard you say in my language. Because Jesus Christ, as you call him, as y'all name him, right, allows for you to come back into His grace, to be presented before His Father, you believe that if nobody does it in time, that they go to hell. That's what I'm hearing you say. Because He allows the grace. Okay. All right. I ain't got no beef with that. All right. So from there, I'm gonna go into a 3-point thing right here, and it's gonna sound like I'm going all over the place, but it's all gonna circle back.
Nope.
I promise. Okay?
We good.
All right. So if I'm asking you that question, I'm gonna mirror it back to myself, and my response to that is I don't know. I don't know if I can believe that. Okay. Here's why. You said that a lot of people in 2022 are drifting off away from the Holy Book, doing madness and chaos, right? I'm going to say that they're leaving religion and they're tapping more into their spirituality, right? Is that a bad thing? Is it a good thing? I don't know, right? not God.
Mm-hmm.
But hear me out, Mike. And I really need you to hear me out. Let me eat real fast.
Go ahead.
Yahweh, which is God, which is the Hebrew God. That is God, that is Jesus' father. Okay.
Yep.
That's what people believe right there, right?
Yep.
Shango, Zeus, Allah, Ra, Osiris, Minerva, Vishnu, etc. Mike, what did I just do?
You hit it from different angles.
No. It wasn't different angles. I literally gave you different gods and goddesses over time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mike, somebody got to be wrong, right? Or are they all right?
So
don't answer that yet, Mike, because I gotta ask you another follow-up.
Oh, come on.
Hear me out, Mike. If I worshiped Ra in my past life, if I had a past life, if this ain't my first time being here, but if I worship Ra, you telling me I have to go to the dark zone, the danger zone, whatever we want to call it, Hades, hell, because I wasn't aware that I was supposed to bow to a king that didn't come yet? Yeshua Mashiach? You see where I'm going with this?
So that's spoken about in the Bible, though.
Facts.
And people miss this part. So before the coming of Christ, Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ is the reason why people have what the grace, right? Yes, and be able to come back. Before that, don't quote me. I'm just trying to remember off the top of my head. Some of that, some of the way you phrased it, yes, right? Yes, because that's how people would interpret the language. But I think that goes back to your acts and your heart with that piece before Jesus showed up.
Hear me out.
Because I get what you're saying, because everything wasn't written yet. I definitely get what you're saying.
Right? But hear me out. There's an actual passage in there where them little dudes, which was really us, them little dudes was in there worshiping idols who happened to be Ra, Shango, idolatry, and according to the Bible, Yahweh or the Lord or God was like, I ain't going for none of it. Opened up the ground and swallowed those people. Hear me out, Mike. Some of those people that got swallowed up were kids because they were following what their parents did and their grandparents did. Now, that's not facts. I'm just, I'm shooting that out there, right? I'm getting people to think. But yo, hear me out, Mike. I'm damned because I wasn't taught properly or I don't know anybody. This is why that question, what I'm asking right there, this is why people are like, yo, this is a little bit too much for me. And I'm going to piggyback on that, Mike. I literally had a conversation with somebody and they said, Justice, I want to tell you something. I was like, all right, shoot. It says, sometimes I feel like you work for the enemy. So I made a face. I had to hit one of these. Okay. For those of you that's only listening to audio, I'm making the shrug with the hands up face, my classic face. Because my response to that is either going to be disgustingly nasty, verbal, okay? Or I'm going to come at you respectfully, just depending on my Gemini mood, being real, okay? That day I was in a good mood.
Silly.
So my response was, I'm working for the enemy because I'm in a state of confusion. Not me per se, but I'm just saying I'm in a state of confusion, in a state of inquiry. And I'm striving to understand my situation of life as a human being. Styles P said it the best. To heaven, got a river or a dam running. I'm trying to understand something. Bars. Because it also says we all ain't gonna make it. That's scary just to hear.
Yeah.
I gotta be damn near perfect to make it into your version of heaven. But here on hell, what y'all call earth, you got these people that don't quite look like me living in what I might consider heaven already, and you're telling me, wait your turn, you'll get it when you die. Bam, bam, bam. There are a number of people, right, that are inquisitive. They are confused, and God is not a God of confusion. I understand that, but I'm just saying, you spiritually tapping, you're supposed to move on faith. I get all of that, okay? But I'm not speaking for myself. I'm speaking for people that are, they can't That's why I'm going so hard. I'm going hard for them right now, okay? As a Christian, what do you tell them? Oh, have faith steadfast, faith is the side of a mustard seed, or do you take your time with them? You know what I mean? Like Yeshua Mashiach did. It's so complicated. It's too much going on, family. Especially when you got things like Shango popping back up in 2022. There are people actively coming back and worshiping Shango. People actively coming back, talking about the sun god. Ra, like it's getting to that point. So where we go from here, Mike?
Honestly, that's decision up to each individual person on this earth. That ain't up to me. I'm gonna do what I want.
Who's wrong? Who's right?
I don't. With the gods, so some of those names are other names for Yahweh. We already know this.
We
understand. To the same God. We understand that. Some of them other gods. Those multiple gods in different history books where I'm like, I don't even know where. So we just gonna make up a god for each thing and keep it pushing. And that's probably what they did.
Ares, God of War. That ain't Yahweh. I mean, it could be. It could be like a variation of like, bro. That's not. I don't want to go too deep into that. My main question, I brought that up because what you're saying is based off of the Christian teaching is if you do not come back to the grace of the Most High, the Son of the Most High, that you will perish from this place. But in the same breath, I got to go, so what about the most peaceful Buddhist? He's practicing peace, which is supposed to be the true underlining, right, of why we're here. We're supposed to bring peace and we're supposed to lift the name up of the Most High to each other. Correct? You can stop me if I'm wrong.
Keep going.
Okay, so why would they be perished to hell because they believe in what they believe in, whatever the name is, but they're still about peace? That right there, that's where it gets spooky for a lot of people.
Yeah, so it does get spooky, and so someone recently said to me that the human mind is always trying to get answers to everything, right?
Oh.
And they need to realize that sometimes God does things that we won't know the understanding, won't know why he did it. It just happens. Like, and I think about it like this, like sperm and the egg come together and make a kid.
Right.
And replicates over time. And that kid grows up to be a whole human being. But we're trying to understand how something so little, two objects so little, create someone like you and me. And it baffles us, right? And it baffles us so much that these said scientists now, let's see how to do this from scratch ourselves. And we try to do the whole cloning stuff.
Yeah, talk to me.
But we all know the cloning stuff really don't be working that well. It's always some kink. Because it's not made the same way how everything was. I get the avenues of finding ways to help women, help men have kids. Well, who died and made us God, right?
There's a religion for that, by the way. I'm dead serious.
I know you are. I know you are. I'm like, you would drop that. But no, but it's like we as humans tend to question a lot of things, and we want the answer.
Everything.
But here's the real truth about it. If we knew the answer, can we accept what comes with it? And that's why Christianity, walking by faith, makes a little bit more sense to me now than it did when I was a kid or when I was younger, questioning everything. And I'm not saying that I don't question stuff today, but it gives me a better understanding. Like, walking by faith is basically taking stuff out of my hands that I can't control, that I have no power over, and I have to just deal with, versus trying to figure everything out and trying to make it work to the best of my abilities. This is not business.
There's a phrase that messed me up as a kid. Video games. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing is true. Everything is permitted. What's your thoughts on that? So there's this game, right?
Yeah.
That we grew up on, Assassin's Creed, right? Well, I ain't gonna say we. I grew up on, right? Nothing is true. Everything is permitted. How do you feel about that phrase?
Nothing is true. Everything is permitted. What that phrase is kind of basically saying to me is that you can't believe everything that you see. And I'm only going to allow you to know what I want you to know.
I took that as the human in its truest form. Question everything.
Mm-hmm.
Question everything.
And you know, the funny thing is, yes, question everything. They have to. I have to.
But the Bible says don't question God. You see the conundrum.
Yeah, that's a big conundrum. It's a big conundrum.
I ain't got no beef with Christianity. Okay? I just personally don't like the word Christianity because it's literally follower of Christ. But the way you put it, it's a walk of life, not a religion. I like that a lot. If that's what all Christians are going to stand on, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. But if they're gonna do exactly what you said you don't want them doing, which is have all these stipulations and all these rules and stuff like that, don't call yourself a Christian because it's gonna piss people like me off from people like Mike that are actually living in, what that is supposed to be. I feel like it needs to be some type of separation, man. And which is why I told you last season, I would prefer to call you a follower of the Anointed One because you're actually following in the teachings of. Whereas other Christians, popular Christian folks, are making rules up as they go along. And it's causing the rest of us, okay?
Confusion.
I ain't gonna say confusion because ain't nothing confusing about it. We see the fake Christians for who they are.
No, listen, it's causing confusion. No, it's causing confusion because those same Christians, right? Let's just say like this. Some people take them serious and be like, "Oh, those are real Christians."
But in their hearts, they are. They don't see anything wrong with what they're doing, bro.
But yeah, here's the funny thing. This is how I think about it like this. Any true Christian, right? We're going to just use the word. If they do something wrong and don't regret it or question what they just did, I don't think they're a true Christian. I think those individuals who say they're Christian do what they want and feel happy inside and have no regrets about it.
So even if they've been called on, I'm going to go to Moses' route. I don't know if he was called on to kill that man, okay? But he killed that man. But it didn't seem like he was too regretful about it. Does that make him less Christian than anybody else? We talking about Moses, fam.
Yeah, you talking about Moses, but I don't think hear me out. I think he regretted his action. I don't think he regretted what it caused his life to be.
What you mean?
Think about it. killing that man put him on a
Yes.
path to God and to the way he lived the rest of his life. Not the action itself.
Right. Right.
So like it's basically it's like hindsight. You get what I'm saying? So most people don't know. I don't know if I mentioned this before. I had a DUI. I regretted the DUI, getting one, yes. But I did not regret everything that brought to light after the DUI.
So that makes you a true Christian.
I would say so, because I would say so because you question what you just did,
Right.
but you also understood the repercussions or the trials and tribulations that you went through after that opened your eyes.
Okay, so it's about understanding after the fact and falling back into grace based off of what you said.
Exactly.
All right. Okay. Say no more. I ain't gonna beef with you no more. Only got 2 beefs left. Only got 2 beefs left.
All right,
This
I'm
one?
ready.
This
Come
one, you better come right, bro. Because if you on the wrong side of this one, bro, we're gonna go back and forth, bro. Okay.
All right, come on.
All right. Christmas and Easter, fam. Listen. Enough is enough, okay? True Christian, fake Christian, any Christian. All right. I want all the smoke right now, right here in this moment, okay?
All right. I'm here.
Mike, you gonna tell me Christmas has something to do with being a follower of Christ? Easter has something to do with being a follower of Christ?
Yes, and I'm gonna explain how, and I'm gonna show you the coin.
Go
Christmas.
1 for 1. Yeah. Go Christmas.
Christmas.
Go ahead.
No, I'm going Christmas. So Christmas is a celebration of Jesus Christ, right? His birth. He's a gift to the earth. See, you hear how I phrase that, right?
I'm listening.
Gift to the earth. So that's where the gift part comes, right? And plus, the men, what is it? The men that came to visit him right after he was born and brought the gifts also.
The 3 wise men?
Yes, the 3 wise men. Yes.
The 3 magi?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And people take that part of the story. And when I mean people, I'm talking about these big corporations and kings and queens and all this stuff, and sell that to the public, be like, get your kids gifts. Bang, bang, bang. It's money this, money that. And perverted what the original celebration of Christmas was. Technically, me and my family, my sister, we call that Xmas, while we call Christmas, which is really Christmas. That's Christmas. Celebrating the birth of the Lord. Right? And that's celebrating with family. Because he was born in the manger with his family. All right? And so you can take different pieces in the connotation of that event and see how people twisted and perverted it. Easter.
No. Pause.
Oh, okay.
We gotta go blow for blow.
All right. Go ahead.
We'll get to Easter. We'll get to Easter.
All right.
What I'm hearing you saying is Christmas has everything to do with Christ because you're celebrating. It is a celebration of his birth. And we are giving gifts to one another because we are mimicking that of what the 3 wise men, aka the 3 magi, did for Jesus, Mary, Joseph, and the squad.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm hearing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. I'm on the other side. I don't believe you. You need more people. Okay. I feel like we celebrate Christmas because of the pagan holiday. It piggybacks off of the pagan holiday, which is Saturnalia. And that is when you are celebrating the sun god, and then you are giving, watch my hands, for those of y'all watching the YouTube, giving sultry gifts to one another. Some people were giving toys made of clay and an image of the sun god. Some of y'all was out here giving out the D and some of the V. It was similar to Carnival for my Caribbean, my island people. That is the origination of the pagan holiday, Christmas. And then the Protestant community got a hold of it and was like, look, we need y'all to stop doing what y'all doing. So slap this on it. We're going to spin it like this, and we're going to make it about religion. Or y'all got to pay a tax. Look this up, by the way. Or y'all got to pay a tax, and we'll let y'all drift off to the side, and y'all can have y'all Christmas over there in the bungalows down under, whatever, wherever they was at. Quote me on it. Look it up. Research it. It's a pagan holiday that they twisted, and it was like, yo, we this is about Jesus and celebrating his birthday. Now, this is how I also know we wrong, right? Because if you look at the biblical joint, right, and there's science behind it. The scientists that did all the little, theatricals and things that they needed. Yo, Yeshua HaMashiach wasn't even born in December, bro. He was born in like March. He's supposed to be like a Pisces, fam. And if you into that type of thing, Pisces are like real, like they'll give their last. And, they sound like some people that descended from the Most High. And if you look at people, cars and things like that, what do? They got the Jesus fish on there.
So, all right.
Talk to me nice, Mike.
I get what you're saying about the whole March thing, but also I want to point out this too. We have to go back and actually think about, they're talking about March and all this good stuff and all that, right? But we forget that people add in months later on, because if you actually look at how the months are actually spelled out and look at their breakdown of their meaning, you see that the numbers don't correspond with the months properly.
That's a fact. Because they had different calendars. You're right. Go ahead.
Yep. Different calendars. Because first of all, July and August technically shouldn't be there, because July and August is named after Julius and Augusta. But that's another story.
I see you. Go ahead.
But like when you break down the words of January, February, March, April, May, June, then you go into September, October, November, December, you see that the numbers line up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Like scientists looking like, oh, he's born in March. Was it our calendar you're looking at, or were you looking at their calendar? Do you even know how they counted their days?
Okay, but peep game, so you're talking about the calendar, which brings up a great point. But then there's also a part in there where they're talking about Mary eating figs off the tree. Fam, what figs are growing in the tree in the winter? Talk to me nice, Mike.
That's also a good point.
Come on, bro.
But
the shepherd was shepherding in the winter, bro.
But listen, you also gotta remember where this occurred. It was Israel and all that area. Think about that area. Think about the time of the years. Like they say in March, and like our winters is December, January, and February in the United States.
God.
What's winter over there? People just like try to go with what the information that they have and just be like, oh, this is not possible because this, but don't really think about it. That's why I'm saying, like, we don't know.
Of course. This is just all this. Me and you are just speculating. We having fun.
Yeah, we right. But I'm saying, like, honestly, we don't know unless it was recorded somewhere and they said this was the calendar at the time. This is the time he was born, and here's the information. But we don't know because we ain't got that.
We're not gonna get that. My last argument to Christmas is winter solstice. It's a coincidence that we get that week of. All right, you got it. Easter. Go ahead, bro. Easter, bro.
Stupid. But I got you. Easter, Resurrection Sunday. That's what I need to call it. Like everyone call it Easter, but Resurrection Sunday.
Resurrection Sunday. Go ahead.
The day Jesus rose from the dead. 3 days later. Boom. All right. Now that time period is a whole nother thing. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole nother thing. But they turned it into the Easter bunny and these eggs and whatnot. I don't see the correlation, honestly. I really don't. I think someone just made up, oh, let's make an Easter bunny out of this and sell all the items. My honest opinion. I don't even know the true history on the Easter bunny and everything on Easter. I just always knew Resurrection Sunday, third day, Jesus rose from the dead, bang, bang. That's all I grew and knew. Go ahead, sir.
You standing on Easter? That's all I want to know.
Resurrection Sunday. I'm not. Easter is a whole different holiday to me.
Okay. So you standing on Resurrection Sunday, which means you standing on Good Friday.
Mm-hmm.
So that means the Sabbath to you is Sunday.
Yes, as of right now. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I heard you. I ain't even gonna go into that last part. I'm gonna let you live on that last part, okay?
I already know where you about to go. Go ahead.
I'm gonna let you have Rebirth Sunday, okay? Easter. For those of you Christians that are getting and doing your Sunday's best for Easter, okay? Listen, y'all are celebrating the goddess, the Celtic guardian, the Celtic goddess. I said Celtic guardian. I'm thinking of Yu-Gi-Oh. The Celtic goddess. The Celtic goddess Ostara, okay? And Mike, you said you don't even know where the Easter bunny came from. Let me tell you, bro. The Easter bunny and the eggs, she was obsessed. The Celtic goddess was obsessed with spring because she's the goddess of spring. She loves her bunnies. She loves the eggs that comes with the bunny, right? She's also the goddess of rebirth and fertility. Yeah.
Connection. I see what you did there,
Mike.
All
right. So then this group named the Protestants again, here that name go again, came along and was like, hey, we see what you're doing over there. Listen, we need to add God into this. So just do us a favor. We see that y'all are into the eggs and the bunnies. You know, we can't really do that over here in Christianity, but we like that cross. And according to our teachings, Yeshua Mashiach, who we celebrate and who we follow, he died on a cross. So, and your goddess is into rebirth. So what we'll do is we will make this a holiday, which is supposed to be a holy day. Please don't let me lose y'all. Okay. We're going to turn this into a holy day, honor the Most High, and say that this right here, this rebirth is when he died and came back. And to make matters even worse, Mike, you ever looked at those rolls on Easter, and then you looked at the rolls, and they always had like a road map, like a four-way intercross, right? That's how we always looked at it as kids, right? If you do your research, the goddess, this Celtic goddess, Ostara, she was into crosses. Those were her symbols. Mike, they put a cross on the bakery buns. And there's a deeper story to that, by the way, too, but I ain't gonna get into it here. But they put the cross on the bakery buns and it was like, yo, we distribute this for Easter because we are also celebrating the rise of the Most High. Bro, all of that stuff, they intertwined it together off of pagan holidays. Okay. And who are we to call Celtics pagans? But let's hear nor there. It's pagan to Christianity. We're not gonna say you. We're celebrating as Christians. Y'all are celebrating pagan holidays. You can paint it, you can spin it, right? And I can rock with you. But it is what it is, fam. It wasn't. You can listen. It's considered pagan because was it done when Yeshua HaMashiach was alive? Yes or no? Yes or no? Okay. Immediately after he passed away, was it done?
I don't believe so.
No, there's no teachings of that, bro. It's not in there. We went straight from Yeshua HaMashiach left here, he came back here, and then he disappeared on us, supposedly, right? He went up top and was and sent teachings through the homies, through the big homies that got to write the books, and was like, hey, this is what it's gonna be. All right, cool. And then it ended the book and was like, all right, joy. Now we get a new chance on life. And then came the dark book, Revelations. Oh yeah, by the way. If y'all don't get y'all lives together, we going left, right, up, down. Some of y'all gonna be up out of here. Where did Easter come into play? Where did Christmas come into play? Halloween? Somebody don't talk to me, bro.
Whoa, that's a whole nother story.
We know. I'm just, I'm being petty at this point. Thanksgiving, since you want to be nasty. Tell me where it comes from, Mike. What we giving thanks to? For the pilgrims coming over here and killing the natives? Don't do me. It's pagan. It's pagan. It don't have anything to do with Christ. And you're not going to make me feel better because you say, oh, it's Christmas, more Christ. And Corpus Christi, Texas is considered Corpus Christi, Texas, the body of Christ. That don't mean they holy out there. Don't do me.
Bro.
Come on, bro.
The questions unanswered.
Facts.
And the questions answered. Bro, you just look. I ain't gonna say I got the answer because I don't got the answer, Sway. I don't.
We playing, man. We doing what we do, bro. And if anybody listening, please don't get offended. This is just us pushing the agenda. We asking the questions that people are afraid to ask. We tell you that in the title. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So it is what it is. But Mike, final question.
Yep. Go ahead. I was about to ask you the same. Go ahead.
In 2022, Mike, is Christianity outdated? Is it time to go by a new name as a people to bring about truth?
See, it's hard, right? It's hard for change. And we know this. It's hard for humans to change stuff like that, right? I don't think the name itself needs to change, right? I think what needs to change is the teachings, of course.
Right.
If we have the right people teaching what it's actually about and not what we're force fed through laws and rules of denominations.
Or political people in charge, but I hear you. Go ahead.
Or that too.
Mm-hmm.
We would have a better understanding. And we, in my honest opinion, we'd have more people who understand and respect human life. Because let me go back that human life, because that's what a race is. Human race. And I don't think we would have as much bloodshed if we valued each other's life as we should. So, because in all honesty, Christianity is actually all about love. And people forget that all the time.
But so are the other religions, Mike. Peace and love and harmony. Technically all the religions are saying the same thing. They just saw an event a different way, as humans do. So who's wrong?
I don't know.
Yo,
with that, folks, we see y'all next week. But we gotta put that on the shirt, though, bro. What up, listeners? Mike B here. Hope you enjoyed the episode. You can find us on IG at BMM_podcast. On TikTok at BMM Podcast. Facebook, just type in the Black Men Misunderstood Podcast. And then you can find The Neighborhood Therapist at The Neighborhood Therapist on IG. And you can find myself at Mike B_BMM on IG. And if you want to connect with our producer, the DJ himself, Mr. DJ Daxter, check him out at DJ Daxter on IG. All right, folks. See y'all next week.